Middlesex Community College is a great place to begin your future. With more than 75 degree and certificate programs and hundreds of non-credit courses, Middlesex can help you earn a degree, start a bachelor's degree, or upgrade your skills. And their schedule fits your schedule. They offer classes during the day, evening, and weekends on campus and online. Middlesex Community College, a great place to begin your future. To learn more, visit middlesex.mass.edu.
Hi, welcome back to another episode of MCC Connects. I'm Mary Jo Griffin. Joining me today is Hallie Sugarman, who is an assistant professor and program coordinator of the paralegal program. Thank you, Hallie, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So we'd like to start off with just tell me a little bit about yourself, how you ended up at Middlesex Community College.
So believe it or not, I'm actually a Florida native, but I've made Massachusetts my home
since
2002. And I am a trained lawyer. I worked as a lawyer for many years in Washington, D.C. and Boston. And then I transitioned into legal education, and I made a connection with Dean Deb Walsh here. And I came to Middlesex in 2011 as an adjunct and joined the faculty full-time just 2 years ago.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what made you transfer from working in a courtroom or working on cases to a classroom?
Well, I always thought that it would be fun and engaging to work with students, and I love teaching and talking about the law. And truthfully, when I had small children, it was a better career fit for me to adjunct part-time and be with my children when they were smaller, and now they're in school, and I'm thrilled to have made the transition to full-time.
That's wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about the paralegal program itself. Is there a high demand for paralegals today? First of all, is there a high demand out in, can they get jobs, and is it a high demand for a student to get into the program?
I can answer both of those questions. Yes, there is a demand for paralegals, and I can talk to you a little bit about the types of work that paralegals do. A paralegal means someone who assists lawyers in preparing whatever the attorney needs to be prepared to go to court. So the word paralegal is very broad, just like the word lawyer is broad. You know you work in the law, but it can be many different types of the law. There's always a demand for paralegals to work in real estate, because no matter what type of economy you have, real estate is always a hot area. About 5 to 10 years ago, there was a huge demand for paralegals that were trained in bankruptcy law and corporate law. There's always a demand for paralegals to work in litigation, because there's lawsuits no matter what the economy is like. So even within the world paralegal, there's a lot of different types of career opportunities for those who are interested in assisting lawyers, preparing court documents, working with witnesses, preparing real estate closings.
And is it a difficult program to get into? Is it one of the higher requested, or within the college, do students want to get into that program?
We have a lot of students that want to get into our program, and we have a lot of students that take one of our courses that's a general education course, is Introduction to Law. So we often have students take that course as a general education requirement as part of another degree, or maybe they're undeclared, and then they realize how interested they are in the law and they come and join our paralegal program.
Is it competitive to get into the paralegal program itself?
No, it is not a competitive program to get into, but we have very high standards since we are approved by the American Bar Association. So
tell me a little bit about that.
So the American Bar Association is a national association that is really a professional organization for attorneys and for paralegals. And they are the accrediting and approval agency for law schools and for paralegal programs. So it's highly competitive to become an ABA approved program. You can't just wake up one day and say, hey, let's be an ABA approved program. You have to apply and meet their high standards. We became an ABA approved program 5 years ago. So we are about to mark the 5-year anniversary of our ABA approval.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Does that help the student when they graduate?
It helps the student when they graduate, and it also helps recruit students into our program, because students are looking for schools that are ABA approved, and we are the only ABA approved program in Middlesex County. So we have students that come from all ends of Middlesex County and outside of Middlesex County, because we're the closest school that offers them that opportunity.
Oh, that's wonderful. What kind of a certificate, or what can the student receive in the paralegal program? They can get an associate's degree, I assume.
Correct.
And there are certificates as well?
There's a certificate as well. So we offer the traditional associate's degree program, and when a student can come in and take all of their general education requirements, English, math, humanities, and then they take the core paralegal courses, which is 27 credits, and they will graduate with an associate's degree. We also offer something called a certificate option. This is available for students who've already earned an associate's degree or above at another institution. They can come to Middlesex and take just the 9 required paralegal courses, and at the end of that they will earn a certificate in paralegal studies.
Okay, so that would be somebody maybe who wants to change careers, who's been in another career, who has a degree in something, but now wants to change into paralegal or into the legal world.
Absolutely. We have a lot of students that come to us from other disciplines first. We actually have a couple of students this year who have masters in music education and are performers, but they've always been drawn to the law and they're finally back to pursue that aspect of their interests. So we have a lot of students who are making a career change, but also some who earned an undergraduate degree, either an associate's or a bachelor's degree. And again, they're interested in the law, maybe even thinking about law school, but not quite sure yet, but they know they want to work in the legal field. They can come, and if they can come full time, in 1 year's time, they can earn a paralegal certificate and then make themselves quite marketable in the paralegal world for a job.
Oh, that's wonderful. Before we move on to why you're here today to talk about the event you're going to have, do most students from the paralegal associate's degree go off into the workforce, or do they go off to a 4-year college?
We have a really great mix. We have both. We have a number that go right off into the workforce, and one of the things I'll talk about with our event is that we invite a lot of our alumni who are now working paralegals to come back and tell us about their jobs and what they do and how to network and get that job. But we also have a fair number of students who go on to a 4-year institution, and then others that we keep in touch with that down the line have even pursued law school.
Oh, that's terrific. What do they get in the 4-year? What do they go on to pursue? Say they went over to UMass Lowell. What are they pursuing?
So a lot of them go into government programs, political science programs.
Okay. So before we have to wrap up here, you're here to talk about the event that you have, your annual paralegal event.
Yes, we actually now do it twice a year. So we had one in the fall, and we're doing another one in the spring. We call it Paralegal Career Night. It will be on Tuesday, March 24th from 6 to 7:30 at our Bedford campus in the Cafe East. And what we do is we invite a panel discussion, and we have a diverse panel, different people every year. So even if you come every semester, you're not going to see the same panelists. So we try to do a mix. We have alumni come, as I just mentioned. We love to have alumni come back to talk about not only how their education helped them get a job, how that education helped them perform their job, but also for our current students to network and help them branch out and build those connections in the community. But we also have others that are not necessarily alumni in our program, but are either working paralegals or working with paralegals. This particular event, we are thrilled to bring a woman named Lynn Turgeon. She is a working paralegal. She actually used to be an adjunct in our program.
Oh, wonderful.
And she and an attorney founded a company that does something called e-discovery, which is a whole nother topic about how lawyers find documents hidden on your computers. But she's going to talk about how she founded this company, and she's a paralegal.
Wow, a new field for paralegals.
In our field. And we also have another woman coming. Her name is Ursula Fury-Perry. She's with Massachusetts School of Law, and she's also a working attorney. She has written a book that she's going to share with everybody, and it's will be available for purchase as well. The name of the book is 50 Legal Jobs for Non-Lawyers.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So a lot of what we're going to be talking about at this particular event is what you can do in the field of law with a background in paralegal studies, because there's, like I mentioned, there's a lot of opportunities out there.
So the theme of it is what you can do. Say it again.
It's called Paralegal Career Night, but we will definitely be discussing as part of everybody being there what you can do with your degree in paralegal studies, and not just think it's just this one job that's out there, but there's really a diverse amount of opportunities.
So tell us again the date and the time and the place.
Sure. It is March 24th, which is a Tuesday. It's in the evening at 6 o'clock. It will end at 7:30, so hopefully working people can get there after work. It's at our Bedford campus, and it will be in Cafe East.
Do you need to pre-register?
You do not need to pre-register, but you can certainly contact me, and I can give you some more information and let you know who else is coming.
All right. Well, Hallie Sugarman, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned.
Middlesex Community College is a great place to begin your future. With more than 75 degree and certificate programs and hundreds of non-credit courses, Middlesex can help you earn a degree, start a bachelor's degree, or upgrade your skills. And their schedule fits your schedule. They offer classes during the day, evening, and weekends on campus and online. Middlesex Community College, a great place to begin your future. To learn more, visit middlesex.mass.edu.
Hi, welcome back to MCC Connects. Joining me now is Danzel Jones, and I am so excited because Danzel was one of the first 3 students to spend an entire semester abroad studying. Thank you, Danzel, for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Mary Jo.
So we actually had one of your peers, Melissa, who went with you
Yes.
over to Bath Spa University, and the Dean of the Global Studies, Donna Katie, in last fall to talk about the fact that you were going. And now you're here and you've
Yes.
gone. How fast did that go by?
It went by so fast. Like even when by the time we got confirmation that we got accepted to the school, to getting on the plane, to getting to Bath, and then just coming back home, it just went so quick.
I know.
And I was hoping that it wasn't go as fast. I didn't want to go fast, but not too fast. I wanted to be able to enjoy everything, but it was such a great experience, and I was so glad to be one of the 3 guinea pigs to actually be able to go abroad.
Well, you were a lucky guinea pig.
Yes.
So let's start with, why did you decide to try to take this endeavor on? What made you want to go over and study abroad for a semester?
So the reason why I decided to go study abroad is because I have the passion just to want to travel, to go see different parts of the area. And when I first started looking into colleges, every time I go on college tours, you hear other students that say that the biggest thing that they regret is not being able to study abroad. So when I first came to Middlesex, I didn't really think that they had an actual study abroad program.
We didn't have a whole semester abroad.
Yes, like there was a international fellowships for the 2 weeks, but like they did have study abroad, but like it wasn't like fully established here at Middlesex.
Right.
So just the fact that they were able to do it for this fall semester, and like just seeing the flyer, I'm like, oh my God, like this could be my opportunity.
Danzel, you're going to go down in Middlesex Community College history as one of the first students to do a semester abroad.
Yes,
That's very exciting.
I'm like really so glad from both Dean Katie and also former President Cowan for allowing this type of experience to happen for students like me that want to be able to travel to different countries, whether it's for 2 weeks or an actual whole semester. It's been just a complete blessing to have here for this school.
And what was particularly interesting for you, I know, is that Bath Spa specializes in communications.
Yes.
And that is what you want to, that's your major, is
Yes, it is.
communications. So tell us a little bit about what it was like to first get to England and acclimate yourself. What was the hardest thing to acclimate to? What was the easiest thing?
So when we first got to England, we were all jet lagged. They tried to tell us like to stay up until the night period hit, then you could go to sleep. But for me, on the other hand, it didn't really work out that well. But when it came to actually being on campus, for the very first day was the international orientation. So you basically have students from all over the world, from Australia, India, China, Japan, like all over the place.
Did
And
most of them speak English?
Yes, actually, I was surprised of how well like their English was progressing. Some of them were here like to continue to build on their English language, but some of them they were actually pretty fluent, and I was kind of surprised by that. But just the fact that like when we first got there, we all kind of agreed. So we basically partnered up with Northern Essex Community College, and they also had 3 students. So we all agreed to kind of like stick with each other for the first 2 weeks, and then kind of branch out and start exploring. Well, because of the social butterfly that I am, it did not happen that way. So
Would you last 2 hours?
No, more like 2 seconds. So the funny thing is that by the time I got into the school, the director of the International Relationship Office, his name is Jeremy White, he was talking to a student that was from India, and he kind of introduced me to him, and like right then and there, I was kind of like, sorry guys, but I'm going off on my own right now, and I want to basically establish myself and make a bunch of friends before I leave here.
Now, did you live on campus?
I actually started out in a homestay for part of the semester, and then I moved on campus. So
did you plan that ahead of time?
I actually did not plan that. So when we first applied, we all decided to be in homestays. So I was basically staying with an English family, getting to live in like their house. They basically had catered and uncatered homestay. So catering basically meaning that they feed you all 3 meals, and uncatered is basically you're fending for yourself.
So what did you have?
I had a cater homestay, so I was able like to get different types of food, and everybody always asks me like, "Was the food different?" I'm like, "Not really.
No.
It's basically kind of the same.
Yeah.
They just call it different things that we do, but it was still good, very delicious."
So did the family have children? What kind of a family was it?
So the family that I had, they had 3 daughters, all in their 20s.
Okay.
2 of them lived outside the house with their boyfriends and their kids, and the youngest daughter stayed inside the house, and her boyfriend would come and visit every now and then. And the one thing I would never forget is that every single Wednesday they call it Madhouse Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because that's when all the family just comes to their house and just spend the whole day together.
Oh, that's nice. On Wednesday?
On a Wednesday.
It's like our Sundays here in the United
Yeah.
States.
So
Family day.
it's basically like they thought I was just gonna probably just stay in my room and not try to interact with them. But for me, it's like since I heard so much about them, it's like I actually wanted to meet them. So I was able just to go to class, and by the time I got back, they were still there. So I got to meet them and hang around with their kids, and like their kids, like they're really young. They were probably like, I think they were 1, 3, and 5.
Okay.
So
So did you find their culture much different than ours?
not 100%. Like there were some similarities, there were some differences. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it was that kind of changed it a little bit from back here. But I can't really say like for me, it wasn't really that big of a culture shock.
Right.
But there is some culture shock that's there.
One of the things I think Americans think of English is they're much more proper and kind of not quite as friendly. Did you find that?
So basically the way I kind of interpreted it was that they're kind of like a mini version of New York. So if you're like walking down the streets in New York, people are just bumping into you, don't even care a whirl. That didn't even make sense, but okay, we'll roll with it for now. But they basically are just, it's almost kind of like that. So it seems like for us, like since we were new, they kind of knew that we weren't from around here. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me."
Oh, nice.
But then like after like a day or so, they just didn't care anymore. So it's like, oh, okay then. But
So then you went.
it was really good though.
So then did you make the decision to go live on campus?
Yes, I ended up making the decision halfway through.
Why?
There was some there was a little conflict that happened within the house, but then
Oh.
it was also because I needed to focus on academics more.
Oh, good.
So I ended up moving on campus, and one of the buildings that they actually established is called the Common Building, which was established back in the summer 2014. They actually had that building open 24/7, so students can go in as late as they want, stay as late as they want, work on homework in the quiet, and be able to go back to their room later on. So I just took advantage of that when it came down to working on my final assessments by doing all my papers and projects. I can work in the silence, stay as late as I want, knowing that a security guard's not going to come in saying, "Sorry, we're about to close the building, so you need to get out."
So did you find the academics different over there than they are here, with the way they teach, or what the way the classrooms?
The academics were completely different.
Really?
So compared to Middlesex, Bassett University is like an actual university. So you have, while Middlesex teaches in the standard of having a lecture / seminar all at once, where you just basically just have the professor just standing right in front of the room just talking at you with little interactions going on, versus at Bassett University, they have it completely separate. So for example, I took a Media Today class which focused on all the different media type aspects. So we had the lectures on a Wednesday from 9 to 12.
Yeah.
And you basically have like the professor up in front just talking to us directly. And then I have the seminar on Thursday morning from 9 to 11. And we have a more in-depth interaction with other peers that are taking the class.
So it's more of a group work?
Yes.
Would you have specific projects when you got in there?
Not really. So it's basically all the other colleagues are in the communications department. They set up like how the seminar should be run. So they basically list questions, they provide videos, presentations, so we can actually kind of follow along to kind of get a more deeper understanding of what it is that their research that they did was about, and kind of go more in depth to kind of put to kind of get into the mindset of like, what is it exactly that is that they actually did for this project and how is it benefiting us today.
Oh, okay. So was every class set up like that? That there'd be a seminar day and then kind of a...
Yes.
Okay.
So every class, I'm not sure about my other colleagues, but I know for my classes, we either had a lecture one day and then a seminar next day,
Yep.
or it was just a straight seminar for just one day.
So what was it? Do they have final exams and midterms like we do here?
So when it comes to final exam and midterms, I feel like they don't really call it like a midterm week, but like they do like give like they'll probably like give you like a project or a paper, and like, they'll just say like they may not say that it's your midterm grade, but it is.
Yeah.
So for example, when I first got there, I took an introduction to script writing class, and when we first got there, they basically said that okay, for like from this time until this time, we're not going to be doing the lectures. We're going to be working on a web series.
Oh, nice.
So you guys will be split into groups, and you have to create your own web series.
Wow.
So we didn't have like a lecture at all. So it was just basically just a workshop type of class. And then after when that was done, we basically went into the lecture. So that web series was kind of like our midterm.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
And then we had like the final exam like before the semester ended. So the way their school schedule works is that they started like their fall semester 2 weeks after Middlesex did, and then we ended a week before Middlesex.
But there was no break during the year.
There was no
semester.
break.
How many classes did you take over there?
I took 5 classes.
Wow, good
So
for you.
compared to here, I was always taking 4 classes, and 4 is like my max. So I feel like if I was taking 5, I was gonna be overwhelmed. And I was seeing the same thing when I went over there. Is that like if I take 5 classes, I'm probably gonna be overwhelmed. But yet when I started taking the classes, I didn't have that feeling of being overwhelmed.
Good.
I was actually able just to focus on each class individually and have that time devoted to like, okay, I'm gonna do my assignments for this class and nothing else, because I know that, I basically feel that the professors themselves like know that we're all like at that age where you can start being treated like adults.
Right,
Even
right.
though I was basically older than everybody else kind of in the class. Because like they all are basically like around like 18, 19, and I was able to celebrate my 21st birthday over there.
Oh, well, happy birthday.
Thank you. So I was able just to focus on the fact that, okay, I know that they're not giving us homework every single week. So I know for a fact that if an assignment is due this day, I can devote other times that I have free to actually focus on those assignments and actually submit it early to my professors to look at it, get feedback,
Good
and
for
then redo it over, fix correction, and give it back for when it's due.
That's wonderful. So we only have a couple of minutes left. What is the best thing about studying abroad that you'll remember forever? Or that if somebody asked you?
I would say the best thing about studying abroad for just anything that you do, no matter what country you go to, is just the fact that you're there. Like, even though you may feel that like it's so expensive just to travel to any different type of country, but it's just the fact that once you pay it and you're actually there to experience it, it's just so amazing. And I am so grateful for all the resources that I have through the MCC Foundation, the Gilman Scholarship, which is an international-based scholarship that allowed
That you received, and all three
of them.
That for the first time, all 3 people received. That's
that
wonderful.
I received. It was I received the $2,500 from that scholarship, and I'm working on a follow-up project which they request for.
That's wonderful.
Which hopefully I can be able to share it to all of MCC.
Yes, and we'll put it up on our website, and we'll put it up on our community board here at LTC.
Yep. So I'm just so grateful for every single thing that has happened to me.
Well, Danzel, it's wonderful that you were the first to blaze the trail to study abroad for an entire semester at Middlesex Community College, and we're all very grateful that you did such a good job.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to take a short break. Please stay tuned.
I'm done with the snow, man. I can't have it anymore. I'm done with the snow. We missed too many days of school.
Boring. First couple days was fun. Second day, third day, no, not so much. Well, having a parking ban where you can't go anywhere is not good.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm just done. I'm done with the snow. Where are we gonna put it? Where are we gonna put it?
So, are you done with the snow?
No, I'm a New Englander. We do this every day.
So you surviving through this weather?
I survive through this weather.
Yeah.
We thrive, we survive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you thrive on this type of snow?
Yeah. This ain't cold.
Nah? That behind you isn't cold?
It looked pretty cold.
Hi, I'm Rafaela Gonzalez. I attend the Lowell campus, and I'm not quite done with the snow. I actually kind of like it.
I'm done with the snow.
What attracts you to the snow when we've already gotten, I don't know, all of this?
I think it's beautiful. I think we should embrace what we got. I mean, it's New England.
You hear that, guys? She's a New Englander. She loves the snow. And I'm here with...
Dan Zajac. I'm a student here at Middlesex Community College. I go to both campuses.
So, Dan, are you done with the snow since it's been here for like the last 3 weeks?
Yes, I am pretty fed up with snow. I mean, there was a time where I absolutely loved it. You know, school gets canceled. You know, you get to play in the snow. But you know, that's when you're a kid. When you get older, you have the responsibility to shovel out the snow, especially if you drive.
My name is Toby. I'm from Lowell. It is annoying, like really annoying. I'm tired of it.
It's your boy Stevie B. We cameras on campus. I'm here with
Kevin Chen.
and we're on the main campus. And Kevin, so what's good with the snow? Are you done with this snow? Are you done with this snow?
Actually, I like the snow. I mean, it's good.
I'm done with the snow.
Good for the mountain for snowboarding. You know, good snowboarder.
You're a snowboarder?
Yeah.
I'm JR. I'm from Lowell, Mass. It's really, really annoying. The shoveling is getting to me.
Hi, my name is Sopivi, and I live in Lowell. I despise the snow. It makes the weather cold. There's no proper sidewalks or not much clean roads, so it's very dangerous for drivers and citizens.
All right, I'm Jen Bauer, and I am the chair of the communications department. The snow's been awesome. It's getting to be a little bit too much at this point, but in general, I love it.
Hi, I'm Kayla Chiara, and I am from Arlington, Massachusetts. And personally, with the snow that we've received in the past couple weeks, I like it because
I'm done with the snow.
but at the same time, it can delay your schedule and it kind of gets in the way of everything that you could do.
Sleep, eat, hibernate, kind of.
I mostly do homeworks, but sometimes when I'm taking a break from homework, I listen to music and watch movies.
Usually I go out snowshoeing with my wife and my 4-year-old and my 18-month-old twins, and we have a pretty good time. I really enjoy it. That's what we do.
Middlesex Community College is a great place to begin your future. With more than 75 degree and certificate programs and hundreds of non-credit courses, Middlesex can help you earn a degree, start a bachelor's degree, or upgrade your skills. And their schedule fits your schedule. They offer classes during the day, evening, and weekends on campus and online. Middlesex Community College, a great place to begin your future. To learn more, visit middlesex.mass.edu.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of MCC Connects. Join us each month so that you too can be connected to Middlesex Community College.